Hey guys, thanks for joining this tutorial, and today I'll show you how you can create this phone holder that you see here. Maybe you saw some of our posts recently. It's the phone holder that we are selling also on our crafts shop, but we will be building this now behind the scenes in the Rete editor, and I'll show you how subscribers can sort of leverage algorithm in the most efficient way. So let's get started, and I'll just make myself a bit smaller here. Let's go to the things category here, laser cutting, gadgets, and droplets phone holder. That's the phone holder that I just showed you. And let's click this droplets phone holder component. So now I've just added this component onto the canvas, right? It's a single component here. And you see immediately in the background, we have the phone holder visible, right? We have here your name and message as a subtitle. We have the drawings and the 3D model in the same environment. So this configurator is available to silver subscribers, but if you want to play around with it, you can do that on our crafts shop. So you can just go here, open this gadgets category, click the droplets phone holder, and here you see that it's ready-made for Shopify. It looks a little bit different. It's rotating a little, right? But you can also play with all kinds of settings here. Make the pattern appear, change the title to, happy birthday or something, and that will just update it here as well. So this is a sort of storefront that is accessible to everyone. This script was adapted not to produce drawings, right? The drawings we're producing when we get the order. So what we do basically is we're using this configurator as well, Rete configurator, which allows us to set all the settings here too, even more than are exposed to the user on Shopify. So I can also change, the title. So I can also say here, happy birthday, and this configurator will pick it up. I will also draw a light, so directional light here on the screen. So we get some shadows. Let's make them more intense like that. And I will also create a circle face, a big one, in this case, like maybe 50. 40 is enough. I want to make it just invisible for now. I will make sure that it's black. So don't pay too much attention to what I'm doing here. I'm just configuring the environment. It's not very relevant to the tutorial, but it will just make the scene look a bit nicer. And I'll increase the shadow map size to be more precise. And now we have this phone holder, right? We have the shadow, and we have our drawings in the same environment. So this is quite nice. We didn't need to do anything almost, right? We dropped one component here, this one, and we get to see all the settings. What's nice about this setup is that I can also just copy this droplets phone holder, and I can tell it that it needs to sit on another origin. So I'll just use vector XYZ component, and I'll set X on -50, for example. I'll just put it on the origin. So now the phone holder is moved away. Yeah, probably I had to do it like on 50, like this, or 30. That's gonna be better. Okay, so now we have it in line with the previous phone holder here. They both throw shadows, they both produce drawings. And, if we get the order of 20 phone holders, then we'll need to configure all 20 in this environment. Okay, so now we have two phone holders here in the scene, and they both, can be configured separately. If they do share some sort of value, like maybe an angle needs to be always the same, then what we can do is use the number slider and connect that to the angle. Let's first make sure that we have the minimum of 5 and the maximum of something like 60 maybe for the angle. The step should be maybe 1. And let's connect this number slider to the angle input, and let's do that here as well. So find the angle, I'll just close this things category for now. Okay, so now we connected this number slider to two phone holders, and you see that now they are more steep. Let's make sure that they look better now. So let's use something like 30 for the angle. So I changed this angle now, and both phone holders just picked that up, right? So this saves a lot of time when configuring. So the thickness, if we share thickness, we would connect that to a single parameter and update that globally to all the models. So what's really nice about this setup is that you can still configure things that are unique for each item, and then you have parameters that you can control globally. You can also tell here now, this is a new feature, you can change this name to angle, right? So that you don't forget what this number slider is controlling. And another thing is that what I've mentioned, you know, both can have something different. So hey there, you rock. So one component controls this phone holder, the other this one. And yeah, this is pretty cool. So now you can also say that you want to enable patterns, for example. So this computation will take a bit longer. You see that the component turns blue, and now we've configured the phone holder with all these patterns. So this is also really, really useful. So whereas in Shopify, you can choose just between sparse and dense pattern, here in this component, you can control density of these patterns in more detail. So you have here a density pattern, and if you want it to be sparse, you know, just set it on 1, for example. You see that those holes become bigger, and you see like 3D model and also the drawings in one environment. But if you want to save the drawings to a DXF, what you need to do here in this case is we have some ready-made components for you. So you go to things again, droplets, and you can say download DXF drawings. So if you do this, you know, you can choose the color of the cut wires, engravings, etc. And if you just do this, you will download the model. And what this does as well is it allows you to import the DXF to whatever software you want. You can also download the STEP format for drawings and then just use Rhino or some other software to generate DXFs. It really depends on your pipeline, you know, what you prefer. DXF that we support consists of polylines, so we don't export arcs and splines. So you may consider that, you know, as a minus, and then you will probably need to export to STEP first and then use another software to convert that drawing to whatever your laser cutter prefers. So now I showed you the kitchen behind. You know, we have here a lot of things that you can configure. I will not go through all of that. We can control, you know, phone thickness, phone height, like if you have a smaller phone, for example, like 12, you can do this as well. Maybe you have a wider phone, which would produce a phone holder that looks more like this. By the way, these work really great as book holders as well. You just need to maybe disable this holes for the wire. You know, you don't actually need them. So here you see that now the back is clear, filled with just the pattern. And here the phone holder has some wire inlets that allow you to plug the charging cable into the system. So we've discussed quite a few things already: the batch processing, how to create a few models in one environment. So there are all these other inputs here in the component that I'm not going to discuss because we have additional tutorial that uses the 3D model configurator available on this website that is also available to you if you subscribe to our platform. What this configurator does is just presents the same model that you see in the Rete editor, but then with a somewhat nicer UI. And in that tutorial, I walk you through all of the inputs available to you, and I show what each of them do. So I'm not going to repeat myself. I think for this tutorial, it was more important to explain how the components in Rete editor work, how you can use them, and yeah, just how to do these batch configurations of multiple items in one go. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and let's see each other in the next ones. Cheers.